Hi, thanks for coming to this session. My name is Darlin Basu, and my role in terms of this broadcast is that I am chairman of two groups in BCS, the Chartered Institute for Computing. BCS is still often known as the British Computer Society, and the two groups that I'm chairman of are the North London branch and Central London branch. Now, these branches have a combined membership of probably about 6,000 or so members. In addition to that, I'm events director for ISACA London chapter, and ISACA London chapter specializes in risk, assurance, governance, security, cybersecurity, compliance, and privacy, and it has a membership of 4,000. Now, in total, these two groups are much bigger membership than I've just mentioned, of course, as well as the 6,000 in BCS North London and Central London branches. I ought to tell you that the BCS membership organization has a total membership of about 60,000, primarily in the UK, also in a number of other English-speaking countries. ISACA London chapter has a global membership, which is over 150,000, I believe, in more than 150 countries. So ISACA London chapter, with its 4,000 members, is a small part of this, but is one of the very large chapters. Okay, so that's a little bit about my background, but I'm not here to tell you about me. I'm here to tell you about disruptive technologies, the future, and you. So there's a question for you there. What do you expect to see in the future? Could it be that what you're expecting is rather like the picture on the left? Big, scary eyes, very, very mechanical devices. Or could it be that it's packaged up in a more user-friendly way, like the picture on the right? A robot in a laboratory, somebody inspecting it. Obviously, that robot is powered by a number of technologies. And those technologies, I would imagine, include robotics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So this is a view of the future which we could take away with us. And in fact, the BBC did a great program on artificial intelligence. But AI is just one of the future technologies that we are expecting. In fact, we're experiencing already. And ISACA, the organization that I told you about, forecasts the following new technologies to be the major ones in the 2020s: AI and machine learning. Cloud platforms where we can host and access information from everywhere that's online, and big data, bigger, faster data from everywhere. Quantum computing, computing at the speed of light, you could say, but huge number crunching potential, and blockchain for security and traceability in our new world. So these are some of the new technologies that we could expect. But of course, there are potentially many more, and I'm sure you can mention a number of them yourselves. Here's a report from the World Economic Forum, famously known for meeting in Davos in Switzerland. The WEF produces a number of reports, including the one featured here, which is about unlocking technology for the global goals that it has set for our world in the future coming up. Now, it mentions a term at the top of the right-hand panel, which is the core fourth industrial revolution technologies. What is the fourth industrial revolution? Well, this is our current disruptive revolution. 4IR, Fourth Industrial Revolution, is a transformation of our society enabled by emerging technologies. It makes use of our physical, digital, and biological worlds to impact our economies, our values, identities, and opportunities for future generations, and to question a lot of the assumptions that are being made as well. Now, 4IR is a fusion of advances in artificial intelligence, AI, robotics, the Internet of Things, IoT, 3D printing, genetic engineering, quantum computing, and other technologies. It's the collective force behind many products and services that are fast becoming indispensable to our modern life. And they, of course, include a lot of medical advances too. But for example, GPS systems, global positioning systems that suggest the fastest route to a destination, voice activated virtual assistants such as Apple's Siri, personalized Netflix recommendations, and Facebook's ability to recognize your face and tag you in a friend's photo. So, Tom, how do I get from there to the next topic? Well, as a result of this perfect storm of technologies, the fourth industrial revolution is paving the way for transformative changes in the way we live and radically disrupting almost every business sector. And as you know, it's all happening at an unprecedented whirlwind pace and fast changing our consumer expectations. Let's look at the main panel here on this slide. What are the technologies that are driving change? Well, the easiest way to understand the fourth industrial revolution is to focus on the technologies that are driving it. And these include the following. And I'll refer to numbers when there are some on the page. Number one, artificial intelligence. AI describes computers that can think like humans, in some ways at least, recognizing complex patterns, for example, processing information, drawing conclusions to some extent, and making recommendations for humans to then consider. AI is already used in many ways, from spotting patterns in huge piles of unstructured data, big data, recognition of faces in crowds, facial recognition, to powering Alexa speakers in your home. Number two, blockchain. This is a secure, decentralized, and transparent way of recording and sharing data with no need to rely on third-party intermediates like banks. The digital currency Bitcoin is the best known blockchain application, although I should say there are actually dozens of digital currencies, cryptocurrencies. However, the technology can be used in other ways, including making supply chains traceable, securing sensitive medical data anonymously, and combating voter fraud, for example. Next, the IoT, Internet of Things, describes the idea of everyday items, in fact, many items in our world, from medical wearables that monitor users' physical condition, to cars, and to tracking devices inserted into parcels, all being connected to the Internet and identifiable by other devices. Now, this is all helped by the spread of 5G, fifth generation technologies and networks. Businesses can collect customer data from constantly connected products, allowing them to better gauge how customers use these products and to tailor marketing campaigns accordingly. There are also many industrial applications and also things such as farmers putting IoT sensors into fields and into trees to monitor the soil attributes or the tree growth attributes and make decisions as to when to fertilize or when to trim the trees and so on. Well, new computational technologies are making computers smarter, obviously. They enable computers to process vast amounts of data, the big data we've mentioned, in terms of velocity, veracity, volume, and so on. They process those faster than ever before. And cloud computing allows businesses and individuals to safely store and access their information from anywhere with internet access at any time. For example, for me, I can do that via Microsoft Office 365. Quantum computing technology is now in development, will eventually make computers millions of times more powerful, as they have been doing all along through computing history. But now quantum computing is a new way of computing, and these computers will have the potential to supercharge AI, create highly complex data models in seconds, and speed up the discovery of new materials. Also, of course, of new medicines, and also of new worlds when we look at interplanetary applications. Number three, robotics refers to the design, manufacture, and use of robots for personal and commercial use. While we're yet to see robot assistants in every home, technological advances have made robots increasingly complex and sophisticated. They're used in fields as wide-ranging as manufacturing, health and safety, and human assistance. And for example, I saw one the other day, um, mowing, or to be more exact, cutting the grass in a neighbor's garden. He'd programmed it to go around the lawn, cutting the grass at its own speed automatically without needing any further assistance from him. Number four, virtual reality, VR, offers immersive digital experiences using VR headsets, for example, that simulate the real world, whilst AR, augmented reality, merges physical and digital worlds. Examples include makeup apps, clothing apps, furniture apps, which allow users to digitally experiment with products before buying them. There's also the Google Translate phone application, which allows users to scan and instantly translate street signs, menus, and other text. So these are all upcoming technologies. And for example, I had a very scary experience recently when I used a VR headset and was walking along a plank that was sticking out from the 10th floor of a tall building. I was treading very carefully, although I know that my colleagues who were in the room beside me were laughing at how I was being so careful, just trying to walk along a small part of the carpeted floor. Okay, so all of these are coming up, but then so is 3D printing, three-dimensional printing, that is. And this allows manufacturing businesses to print their own parts with less tooling at a lower cost and faster than via traditional processes. Plus, designs can be customized to ensure a perfect fit. Some things are very good, of course, because they have now been 3D printing buildings, or walls in buildings to be more exact. But there are also examples of guns being 3D printed, which is maybe not such a desirable application. Number five, biotechnology harnesses cellular and molecular processes to develop new technologies and products for a range of uses, including developing new pharmaceuticals and materials, more efficient industrial manufacturing processes, and cleaner, more efficient energy sources. For example, work's now in hand to create the strongest biomaterial ever produced. So innovative materials, including plastics, metal alloys, and biomaterials, promise to shake up many sectors, including manufacturing, construction, healthcare, and renewable energy. And on that note, energy capture, storage and transmission represent a growing market sector spurred by the falling cost of renewable energy technologies and improvements in battery storage capacity. That's obviously very useful in many things, including vehicles using vehicles powered by electricity. The battery storage capacity is crucial to that. But in number 6 and 7 on the bottom left, we can see that more than 80% of these technology applications rely on cloud and internet access. Likewise, more than 90% rely on electricity access. So these are the fundamentals required for moving forward into our new fourth industrial revolution. Now, as far as the fourth industrial revolution is concerned, why are we doing it? Well, we're looking at reports from the World Economic Forum. So as you can guess, a lot of it is to do with money. And there is a lot of money being mentioned here. For example, the WEF also produces the Global Risks Report, and the 2020 version of it shows the following projections for the market for 4IR technologies in 2025. Cloud computing. The value of cloud computing is shown there. 623 billion US dollars is what's projected. Autonomous cars, as I just mentioned. Also, precision medicine, very much a topic of today with our current virus situations. And drones. Drones can be zipping around our skies very soon, even more than they are right now. And there's a projected figure of 52 billion US dollars for the drones market. But thinking about drones, I mean, what is an accurate prediction? It's hard to say, because here is another prediction for drones from PwC way back in 2018, Skies Without Limits. And as it says here, drones and drone technology are innovating and shaping our world, and we have the possibility to use them to create a better future and help tackle some of the world's most important challenges. We're already seeing drone camera pictures of various parts of our earth. Likewise, archaeologists are using drones to spot patterns in soil in the landscape where they could find buried buildings and so on. Geologists are doing likewise, and geographers, of course. We're using drones to carry supplies to difficult to access places. For example, if there's been a landslide or an earthquake, drones can very quickly carry small amounts of supplies to those affected and show us pictures of the situation there, so we can get to them as soon as we can. But drones are also being used for other purposes, aren't they? Such as from the US, drones are being controlled to go and carry rockets and actually kill suspected terrorists in places far, far away, such as Afghanistan, Iraq, and so on. So there are numerous issues as well as the opportunities relating to this. But here we can see that as well as the figures that are shown there in financial terms, they predicted 76,000 drones in the UK and 628,000 jobs in the drones economy. Well, we've already seen drones and drone activity stop airports. For example, the UK's Gatwick Airport was closed for a couple of days because of drones going into airspace when aircraft were coming down to land. So some good, some bad things can happen from all of this, can't it? But here are some more pictures of our new world. We could have humans and robots trolling the factory floor, for example. humans enabled by machines is very much something that's shown in the top right picture. Give me a hand can take on a new meaning when we're talking about artificially created hands, which can supplement human capabilities. Bottom left shows how big data can accumulate facts and information and then present it in graphical form very quickly indeed, and using big data analytics. And then bottom right, the pictures and essential information that we need at our fingertips or right in front of our eyes can be put right there by using AI enabled spectacles, for example. So all of these tech advances and many others are coming, and many of them, of course, are powered by artificial intelligence, AI. So let's take a little bit more of a look at AI. In this slide, we can see panel 1, way over on the right, artificial intelligence created medicine, or to be more exact, drug molecules, are being used in terms of human tests to put them into human bloodstreams to monitor and to predict some of the conditions that a particular person might have. So we're going inside the human with AI powered medicine. But let's go over to the top left. What are we doing today? Well, AI is being used for lots of things, and there's a list of some of them, including healthcare and, of course, research and development, autonomous cars, and so on. What are the opportunities for AI? Numerous opportunities are being identified all the time. And panel 3 says AI will underpin all we do at work and at play. I don't know how true that will be, but certainly a number of possibilities shown there, including, again, improved healthcare, is very much being looked at today. There are challenges to do with all of this, of course, as shown in panel 4, and ethics is a big issue here. Should we be doing these things? What are the moral, the ethical, the legal, the religious implications of some of the things that we're planning to do? Do we want to go there? What will we do when we reach that place? How can we come back? Is there a reverse button? So many of these aspects we will need to consider much more in our world going forward. Security and data protection are already issues today. But down at the bottom left, number 5, people are saying that artificial intelligence and related technologies are projected to create as many jobs as they displace in the UK over the next 20 years. According to PwC, because of course a big fear is that AI and robotics will enable machines to take over from humans and replace humans. Number 6, 65% of children now entering school will hold jobs that currently don't exist. So we don't expect to see the end of humans, don't worry. Humans can go to do more and more challenging and interesting and human capable tasks. And number 7 shows that digital skills from the resulting from the fourth industrial revolution will very much be useful, as well as capabilities like creativity and teamwork, which people find much more easy than machines to do. And number 8, by 2025, more than half of all workplace tasks will be performed by machines. So you can balance that with number 3, which says that AI will underpin everything we do. Maybe what it's referring to is humans augmented by machine intelligence. So these are the technical advances that we are looking at now. Many benefits, many opportunities, many risks and challenges. And as far as the risks and challenges are concerned, of course, we're aware of many of them already. For example, the internet as we use it is fundamental to our world today and tomorrow. But the internet as we know it is only the part of this iceberg which is above the waterline. The rest of it is the deep or dark web, the uh, the world of electronic information which is there but is not accessible by most of us. You need to have the tools and the processes to be able to access them. And unfortunately, these aspects of the deep and dark web are being accessed and used by criminals, by organized groups, by manufacturing organizations that want to steal secrets from others, and even from governments. So, this is all contributing to rising cyber crime and cyber warfare. These are some of the challenges that we are facing already and will go to face even more in our world coming up. So, technology uses a lot of resources, but it's bad for the earth. It's bad for our climate. And what's that noise outside? Oh, there's a whole crowd of young people there, and they are demonstrating and they are chanting, "There is no planet B. There is no planet B." I can't see Greta Thunberg there, but these are our children, our next generation, who are very unhappy about what we are doing to their planet, their legacy. And they are saying that we cannot ignore nature. We must do things which are cleaner and greener and give them a world worth living in for their future. So, what can we do? Well, nature is already fighting back or biting back, we could say, isn't it? Because we are now still in a virus pandemic. And this virus pandemic means that we're reaching again to technology to help us fight against COVID 19. And COVID 19 or coronavirus is being fought by scientists and organizations and IT people worldwide. And even the NHS, our National Health Service, is developing and using contact tracing apps to see who has got the virus, who they've given it to, and so on, which is already being trialed and tested very successfully in other countries. And the tax people, this is the top right, are Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, our tax people, are having to process millions of applications for pay, which is being withheld from workers who are being furloughed. They're not working, but the government has stepped in to pay them uh, 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 money which they would have been getting otherwise, and our HMRC processors are processing those claims. Indeed, a pandemic, indeed, a huge crisis. So down at the bottom, as it says, we rely on digital strategy as well as others, as well as medicine and so on, in a time of crisis. And coronavirus is the crisis today. There could be lots of others which we need to respond to and capably deal with, because a crisis demands boldness and learning. And learning is very much something that we need. We need to have better technology for good, don't we? And technology for good, it means using technology to smooth the disruptions in our world and to improve well-being for us today and also for future generations. So what can we do to help this now? Well, clearly a time when many people are at home, and in any case, the time that we have, should be used for learning and improving our skills and our capabilities for tackling the challenges of our world. So you might be interested in artificial intelligence, and you can see top left that the BCS has a certificate in artificial intelligence so you can go and improve your learning capabilities, your knowledge of artificial intelligence there and from other similar organizations. Likewise, the BCS has a number of specialist groups, such as the Green IT Specialist Group, and they put a question out: technology, is it a friend or foe of climate change? And they run events on that topic. Likewise, we have an ICT ethics specialist group, and they look at ethical issues. These are all things that you could spend more time looking at, and I would recommend that you do. But likewise, ISACA is one of the many organizations that has learning, training, certification, for example, on cybersecurity. And there are many of the individual topics within cybersecurity that you can get training on. Browser attacks, for example, malware analysis, how to identify cryptojacking, and many others, how to test web applications, or even blockchain. And you can learn about the basics of blockchain and what this secure technology is all about and how it can be used. So we need to prepare for the future. Clearly, the future is something that is waiting for us. Now, how can you help to improve our society and our world? Will you embrace robotics, as in the picture on the left? Or perhaps you'll develop a chip on your shoulder, which not I, but my cat Rosie already has. She has an implant of a microchip which enables her to zoom through our cat flap from outside to inside our house and vice versa, but does not allow other cats to do so and follow her. So it keeps unwanted intruders out, and it allows Rosie free passage. Indeed, something that she appreciates. But something that we appreciate is, of course, what we can do with IT. So please think about it. Think about IT. And especially think about that wonderful planet that we live on, our planet Earth, as shown in the right-hand picture, our wonderful, beautiful planet, our legacy for future generations, as well as ours to use for our society. So that's it. If you would like to hear more, if you would like to discuss more, please get in touch with me, Dalin Basu at BCS.org. Thank you very much. Goodbye.